Okay, so today we'll be focusing on some open source intelligence challenges under ZedCTF. So once you log into your account, you can just go in practice, then go in the category which is open source intelligence. Okay, so here we have some of the challenges. So for this one, I'll focus on this challenge which is called field trip. Okay, so this particular challenge featured in an event which was called Dory Ducks. So basically this was a multiple question challenge and it has 200 points. So without wasting time, let's try to follow this particular question. So the Kapasa Makasa Visit IT Society finally had a trip that will never be forgotten, just like the trails on the internet. So we all know that trails are simply footprints. Okay, whatever activity you do online, there's a possibility that a trail or a footprint was left. Okay, your digital footprint, meaning it might be somewhere there. So let's see the questions so that we try to run through this particular challenge. So what's the name of the files? So I suspect that there are some files which are attached, so we can try to download this file. So let's try to download this zip file for field trip. So I'll just say download. Then I would like to save this file in my ZedCTF folder. So I'll just save it there, say save. Okay, now since we have this file downloaded, we would like to access the file such that we see what's actually there. So it's a zip file. So the first step I'd like to do is to extract this particular zip file so that we see what's inside. So we can see we have 3 photos. So one thing you need to understand about open source intelligence, it's that even the metadata of an image or file can be useful to find a clue on what can lead to maybe a flag or a suspect or anything. Okay, so the first thing I would like to revisit that particular question so that we understand what we are doing. We are saying what is the name of the photos. So we can see we have 3 photos here. Okay, so this photo and this photo, we can see maybe there's a photo somewhere. So I would like to start with the first one. So we can see these guys were at a particular pose. So I'd like to understand what is this pose. So the first attempt I can encourage you is that try to check for the metadata. Does this particular image have any GPS location exposed? So I'll open my terminal here. So once I open this terminal, I'll just say sudo su to access the root account. Then once that is done, now I can try to actually find out what is the metadata for this particular image. So I'll say ls to list. So I can see this image is ending with 89, this image 89. So this is the image which is ending with 89. Okay, so I'll copy this image, then I'll say ExifTool. So ExifTool is the tool which can be used to know the metadata about a particular image. So the image we are focusing is that image, okay, the second image. So I'll press enter and we can see we have a lot of information on our metadata. Okay, so let me just confirm if the image we targeted is the one. So this one is ending with 98. Okay, so after doing this, we can see this is the metadata for which we've obtained. So we can try to look if we have any GPS location for this particular photo. So this one happens to have no GPS location. So we can try out another photo. Maybe let's try this photo which is ending with 96. Maybe this one. You know, these things are, it's a try and error thing. So ExifTool, then you just paste the name of the image. Okay, So that image, as you can see, it has a GPS location, so GPS position, we have it here. So for this challenge, it can be it is useful for you to get this GPS location. Now, one of the perfect tools or online sources you can use to identify particular GPS location is actually Google. Okay, Google Maps. Now, because that particular GPS location is not in a format for Google Maps, we'd like to convert that into a format which it can accept. So here I'll just search with Google, then I'll paste that GPS location. I'll go in AI mode for some reasons, so that we try to construct this particular GPS location in a normal way. So I'll just tell you to say make it into a format that Google Maps accepts. Okay, so once we do that, we are trying to convert that the GPS we've been given. So where's that? Let me just paste that thing again. Okay, so let's hope it just give me the result I want. Okay, so here we have it. So since this is the GPS location we've been given, we can now go on Google Maps. So we can just search for Google Maps. I'll say Google Maps, then make sure that you're also searching with Google. I'll say Google Maps. Then once we go on the Google Maps site, we'd like to search for that particular location, the coordinates, the longitude and latitude we've been given. So this is the place right here. So you can just put your cursor, or you can try to click on that particular place so that you see what's that particular place. Okay, so let me try to zoom in. Okay, so you can see that it's saying Mutumuna Falls. Okay, Mutumuna Falls. So if I put a cursor, you can see that, okay, this is the same place where these guys went. Okay, Mutumuna Falls. So maybe this is the flag. Okay, Mutumuna Falls. Okay, because if you look at this particular picture we are given, where is that? If you look at this particular picture, you can see that truly this is the same place where they went. So let's try to submit that flag. So go back and try to submit this flag. So what's the name of the falls? So the flag format, for example, Karambo Falls. So try Mutumuna Falls and try our luck. So incorrect flag. Okay, so here they're telling us what's the name of the falls. Okay, so here we have Mutumuna Falls. Maybe Mutumuna Falls itself is not the main falls, okay, because some falls have some names. So let's try to search Mutumuna Falls direct on Google, because that's the location which you've been given. So I'll just try to search for Mutumuna Falls. So here we can see that they are saying Mutumuna Falls at the upper 20-meter drop of the 3-tier Chishimba Falls cascade. So maybe Mutumuna Falls is part of Chishimba Falls. So let's try to submit Chishimba Falls instead. So we'll say submit. Correct. So we can see that this question we've solved is actually correct, and it's worth 10 points. So the correct flag was supposed to be Chishimba Falls. Okay, now let's go to question number 2. So let me just go back to see if truly the challenge has been Okay, so it has been locked, meaning it has been solved. So we are our progress is actually 1 out of 6. Okay, so Chimba Falls is correct. So let's look at question number 2. So there are 3 waterfalls on the river. What is the name of the waterfalls visited? So remember, we discovered that actually Mutumuna Falls is part of Chishimba Falls. So we'd like to submit Mutumuna Falls now. So let's try to submit Mutumuna Falls, because this is the thing which we've managed to find at first. So we try our luck. So let's try to submit. Correct. So we can see that the question is actually simple if you just take your time. So you can see that Mutumuna Falls actually is correct. Then we try the third question to say this falls was declared a national momentum by government notice. What was the notice number? Okay. Now let's try to see if there are any hints. So hint 1 says Travel Daily Zambia posted a very insightful image on 16th September 2022. Okay. So what we can do, we can just try to visit the folder first. So if you go on this first folder, let me just try to zoom in. If you go on this particular first picture, you can see that here is saying has 3 waterfalls on the river, meaning we've already done the Mutumuna waterfalls, and here is just straightforward written Chishimba Falls, so someone can even get the flag from there. So national momentum by government. So here we can see there's something national momentum by government, but we don't know what's really there because this guy has actually blocked the view for this particular picture. So what we can try to do in this particular case is that we can try to use Google Images. We reverse that particular thing. So what we do is that we can just search for Google Images. You can just type Google Images, or if you're just using Google, you can just go direct on Google. So since I can go on the site, or I can just use that symbol. So on Google Images, we are going to upload that particular photo or picture which you are dealing with. So that picture is this same one. So I'll say open. So once I upload this particular picture, I don't want to search for everything. Why is it coming like that? Sorry. So it's not supposed to show those lines. Let me make sure that I have the correct thing. What's wrong with Google now? Anyway, since here we're having some issues, I can use Yandex. Okay, I'll just search for Yandex. Otherwise, with Google search, you can just do it faster. So here we'll just go direct with Yandex since our Google is tripping. Okay, so we select this image and then let's see.
I know you're super strong, big guy, but we're gonna have to be light on our feet to splash okay?
The issue is with our image or what?
Great, just follow my lead.
Okay, I really wanted to show you this method, but anyway, since that is tripping, what we are going to do is that let's just follow this hint which says Zambia Daily Travel Daily Zambia posted something on 16th September about that particular event. So we can just try to search Chishimba Falls. So otherwise this is even a complicated method. So let's see. Zambia Daily, okay, posted something, but this is just 1 month ago. So there are a lot of things here. So maybe you can try to specify the date. Otherwise, with the image reversing, we could have already found the actual post. So let's see. So
easy, Hulk. Those lasers are super sensitive.
yeah, right. Let me just try to find what's wrong with this image. Let me copy this image, paste it on the desktop maybe. Not sure why it's tripping.
Oh, how kind of you to pay a surprise visit to my secret lair. My octagons will keep you busy until I get back.
Google Images.
Very playful. All out of order.
What's wrong with this same particular image, first of all?
Help here.
Yeah, well, some Spidey told me not to move.
Sorry. I could sure use your What's it called again?
Okay. So let me just do it manually. Otherwise, this is just a waste of time. So here I'll just replace it with Chishimba Falls. Chishimba Falls. Otherwise, I don't even like this method. Let's see if we can find something. So we try out this particular post from Facebook. So this is not what we are looking for. So remember here we are saying Travel Zambia Daily, not Zambia Daily. So Travel Zambia Daily. Travel Zambia Daily. Okay. Let's try with Google. So this is Travel Zambia Daily. So let's see what they posted. Okay. So we can see that on September 16, 2022, they actually made a post, and this image which we were looking for is actually available. So what we can do is try to zoom in and see. So we can see that now it's telling us to say it was declared a national momentum by government notice number 255 of 1996. So if we come back to this particular question, it's saying this force was declared the national momentum by the government notice. What was the notice number? So we can see that it's 255 because here it's telling us 255, notice number 255. So you can try to submit the flag. Okay, so we have the correct flag. So try out the image reversing on your machine. I'm not sure why my parrot is tripping. Otherwise, if I was using my Windows machine right now, we couldn't have this particular issue. Now let's try to proceed. So what is the name of the man in a yellow jersey? Okay, so we have this particular guy in a yellow jersey. Okay, so we are trying to find out the name of this particular guy. So even on this picture, the guy again appears. That's our guy, the guy in a yellow sheet. So it's really sad for us right now that I cannot do the image reversing, but what I can tell you is that this particular guy isn't online. Okay, so this challenge actually was made in a way that you suffer a little, even though you cannot suffer if you just follow it nicely. So what we can try to do now is that we need to analyze these images nicely again. So with our ExifTool, again, we can try to target these images which has the same guy. So since we know that this image ending with 98 is this, so that image, if we look for the metadata, what have I done now? So let me just copy this. So this image, let's try to do our ExifTool. So let's try. So let's see. So that particular image, we can see that okay, it was modified in 2025 in December on the 3rd. So meaning some modification were done on this particular image. So we can try out StegHide to see if maybe there is something which is embedded. So we can say StegHide. So StegHide extract, then we say -sf for stego file, then we specify our stego file, okay, which is the image. So our target image is this, then we press enter. So it's asking for a passphrase, so for now just press enter. So we can see it's telling us to say could not extract any data with that passphrase. So what we can try to do is go back on the hints. So the first hint is telling us okay, that one has been used. So one person on this picture has posted the field trip information online, so we cannot go with this option because it can take us time to identify that one person. So the passphrase is the university's initials and the year this trip took place. So what's the university? So the university is Kapasa Makasa. So we can just try to search this, and then we see when did this took place, field trip. So we can just say field trip because we want to gather as much information as possible. So let's see. Okay, so we are interested in, okay, so we can see that actually one person made a post. We can see that the IT society whatsoever. So if we see this was 2025, okay, so here we are interested in the year, and Kapasa Makasa, we can see that the initial is actually it's KMU. So since our int is saying our int is telling us to say the passphrase is the university's initials and the year this trip took place, meaning it's KMU 2025. So let's try out to extract with the password. I'll say -p for password, then say KMU 2025. So because this is a game of chance, we don't know the actual passphrase, we can try small letters first, then press enter. So you can see it's telling us to say wrote extracted data to oops.txt. Okay, that's interesting now. So I'm going to cut or to view the oops.txt file which has been extracted. Okay, now this looks interesting. So if we look at this particular string, in my case I'm sure it's either base 64 or 32. Okay, but one way we can identify the string minus guessing, we can just go on Cipher identifier, which is Dcode, Cipher identifier or Dcode, and paste that particular string you've identified and analyze it. So we can see it's base 64 encoding, so we can decode it from here by just pasting it and say decode. If we so we can see we've already decoded the cipher, which saying you are clever. Let's see if your open source intelligence skills are good enough. Talk to my boss and there's a number. Okay, so if you want, you can just say echo. Okay, so we want to bounce back this particular cipher text, so we say echo, then we can pipe, we can say base 64, since we know it's base 64-D for decode, then press enter. So you can see that we can also decode this on the terminal. So it's saying you are clever, let's see if your open source skills are good enough. Talk to my boss. So since you have a line, we are in Zambia, so the best thing I can recommend you to do is that this is an Airtel line. You can try to check the details by trying to attempt as if you are sending money through mobile money, Airtel mobile money, into this person's account. Then once you do that, because I cannot demonstrate that, I don't have any simulation for that for Android or iOS on my machine. So once you do that, you find the name for this guy, which is No Bet Warrior. Okay, so once you do that, you find the name. Otherwise the guy is not online. Yeah, he's online, but not on these famous social media platforms, so it's so difficult to find the name. So we'll try out No Bet Warrior. We can see the format is starting with a capital letter for first and last name. So we say No Bet Warrior. Let's hope the spelling is correct. No Bet Warrior. Incorrect flag. No Bet Warrior. Okay, let me try to attempt as if I'm sending money, because I might be assuming something which is not correct. I want to check the spelling. So here I'm starting the transaction now. So let's see. So *115#, then just wait for that to load, then just go and send money, which is option number 1 if you're using Airtel. Then Airtel customer, yes, which is option number 1. Then enter number, which is option number 1. Then I'm going to enter that number, which is 0777 again. So 082-487. Let's hope I'm not mistaken. Then send. So it was the spelling. So we have the guy, it's No Bet Warrior. So in terms of the submission, here there's an error, and again here on bet there's an error. No Bet Warrior, like that. Then submit. Correct. So we have our guy. So we know now that the guy is No Bet Warrior. So we're almost done with the challenge. Otherwise it's interesting if you just take your time, see how these tools are working and how you can use them. Okay, now we go to question number 5. So which ISP did they visit? So based on the information here we've gathered, we can see that it's saying the IT Society presents the 2025 field trip to Smart Zambia Zamtel and Chishimba Falls in Kasama that took place on 18th to 9th August 2025. So now here we have a question which says, what ISP did they visit? So we know that Zamtel is an internet service provider. So try to search for Zamtel and see how exactly they write their company name, because when it comes to capture the flags, you need to be somehow perfect when it comes to submission. So it's Zamtel like that. So let me try with capital letters first. Maybe it can be capital letters. So we say Zamtel. Okay, correct. So Zamtel, because those are initials, so capital letters was the correct thing. Then now the last question is saying, which data center did they visit? So Smart Zambia happens to be a data center in our case. So again, we'd like to search for Smart Zambia, see how it can be written, and try to submit. So we can see Smart Zambia with capital letters. So let's try to see if it's a data center. So Smart Zambia Institute Data Center. Okay, so it's written as Smart in capital letters, then Zambia. So let's try to submit, because we're not given the flag format for these ones because they were simple. Okay, so congratulations, now we've actually solved this open source intelligence, but it's so unfortunate that even I, the creator, had some issues. Okay, so the issues with my PC, I work on it in other videos. So yeah, otherwise I hope we are going to see new people in these particular leaderboards, because Ventry, Katiok, and Medium Banda are really topping the charts like crazy. So I hope this tutorial video helps or write up. So what you need to do to actually, if you want to submit your own write up or video, you can come on write ups, then you can just try to create a write up. So in this case, this write up I'm setting up is for field trip. So what I'll do, let me just even guide you how to create this write up. I'll go and create write up. Then once I go and create write up, I'm going to select that particular challenge, which is field trip. So I can just search for the challenge if there are many challenges. So this is the challenge, just say select. Then here, because this is the YouTube video, just paste the YouTube video, and any other steps I will include them here. So for now, the video, it will be stopped, then you are going to see it once the write-up is ready. So thanks for watching. Make sure you create your ZedCTF account. Let's just create a Zambian platform where we can share our ideas, our skills, so that we can create a better cybersecurity space. So my name is Asuko James, representing the ZedCTF platform, and one of the challenge creators for the past event, which is Dax. Make sure that you also join our group by using this icon, so that we can interact and see how we can perfect our site, and also learn something new. Thank you.